King Payne interviews fyebabe, the Babe Nation leader, also known as Fye or the Babe. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining me on Morning Nugget. This is yours truly, Pastor Nate. And as always, it is my absolute pleasure every time I come and speak with you. I pray that this video finds you well, and I pray that each of you had a great Labor Day holiday. King Payne and fyebabe, they discussed events in the beef sector. A couple days ago, fyebabe and King Payne had an interview. fyebabe went to King Payne's channel, and King Payne asked her a series of questions, and she was open and honest. The interview to me was very epic. She goes back to when she started, and she talks about all the people that she's beefed with, she's had it out with. It seems to me that she had a lot of time to reflect. I remember a few weeks ago, she said she was leaving. She left and she came back. And I think she left to regroup so she can come back differently, because it was a lot of things that went on that can have a negative impact, which leads me to my next point. What was most striking to me in this interview, among many things that they talked about, was when King Payne asked her, how did YouTube affect your personal life? She responds by saying, I had to make a lot of sacrifices. She even said that I lost some friends. Oh, my God. Then she even said, and this is what really stung me in my spirit. She said she had speaking engagements, which means she would go around from church to church and preach the gospel. My assumption, because she said church, then she said she had speaking engagements. No doubt she probably was singing at some of those engagements. I took away her going back and forth and responding to certain individuals had a negative impact on her ministry. Take a listen.
So before I was on YouTube, I would actually have speaking engagements.
We've seen this happen to a lot of people where it affected their personal life. Some people lost their job. I even heard that some people's marriages were affected, calling CPS. So this foolishness on YouTube went over into their personal life. As a pastor of the Lord's church, a real pastor now, that's just not my YouTube name, I am in a hard niche. If I got on here and cussed and went back and forth, I'm sure my numbers would go up, but I dare not compromise my walk with the Lord. And as you know, when I was going live, I had apostles in my chat, preachers and members from my church and some family members, because I was consistent. I didn't get involved into the mess in YouTube, and it causes my character to be compromised. I was the same at all times. Those of you who know that God's hand is upon your life, you better stay out of this YouTube foolishness, because it can affect your life. And I knew that God had a calling on the babe's life. I knew that because I can see that. No matter what she came on here and said, I knew that that was the devil working against her to try to hinder her from what God has called her to do. I've seen a couple people on the YouTube streets let YouTube cause them to be in a bad spot spiritually. I've seen how they respond. So I would encourage you to get back on your post and do what God has called you to do, and stay out of this YouTube foolishness. I know the money may look good, and I know people can put batters in your back, and if you cuss and you roast, and the numbers might come, I understand that. But consider your walk with God, because this here is temporary. All this stuff gonna pass away, right? There's a scripture that says, lay aside every weight. And from how the babe responded, YouTube was a weight that she had to take a break from, and she had to just lay aside. Because anything and anybody that impedes your walk with God and cause you to stumble, oh yes, that is a weight. And the scriptures say we need to lay aside those things. Everything that trips you up, You need to get rid of it. And I think that's what happened here, because now, to my understanding, when I looked at another one of her videos, I think the babe says she's doing things a little differently now. People get tired of beefing and fussing all the time. You get tired of doing that every time you come on live. You got to cuss somebody out. It's a lot of negative energy, and it can make you sick. It can affect your health. It can affect your mental health. Friend, let me know what you think about this video. Leave your comments in the comment section. If you feel like you're getting value from these videos, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. In the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Till next time.